Hello. Welcome, everybody. It's Chrissy Sawyer here. How are you doing? We're in some pretty massive energies. There's been a huge shift in the last few days. It feels like I haven't been to camera for 2 weeks. So time shifting. So for a few days, I've been collecting words and sentences, inspirations, and so I'm going to do a journey with Sedna. I'm going to do a little bit of astrology and we're going to play with some cards and see what messages come through. Okay, I have notes. So, words and sentences that have landed in the last few weeks, few days. Do you see time? So I've been journeying with Sedna, and it's been pretty amazing. What she's teaching me is, I'll speak about in a minute, but it's deep and profound. Yeah. So look out for solar plexus activation. It might feel that your solar plexus is going into spasm. So there's work being done around there. Phasing in and out of reality might look like a sudden wobble and reaching for the nearest fixed surface, wall, door, worktop. So it just feels like this little, almost imperceptible shift in your reality. Time dilating and constricting, like the pupillary response to light. Leaning into disruption and away from the comfort of the familiar. Trauma bonding as a way to not feel our own feelings. Corrupt ideology. Fatima, Joan of Arc, the untethered feminine, reckoning. And some of you may be experiencing a resurgence to somewhere around 2017, 2018, something big that may have happened in your life might now be just coming up for another cycle of clearing. So, quick update on the going live. I think I've chosen the software I'm going to use. I need to pair that with the hardware, but honestly, since I last came to camera, it's been a big process for me. So I'm holding myself in that. It'll happen. I'm just not getting into the pressure of that cardinal earth energy, because it'll create a push and that will take me out of flow. So it'll happen, and it'll happen with love and when it's going to happen. So at 2 o'clock this morning, I'm woken up with this sentence: remapping congenital habitats. I had to look up congenital. Of or relating to a condition that is present at birth as a result of either heredity or environmental influences. Being or having an essential characteristic as if by nature inherent or inveterate. Okay, so remapping congenital habitats. Tomorrow, May the 8th, is the new moon in Taurus. In tropical astrology, in sidereal astrology, it's happening in Aries at 29th degree. It's a tricky degree. That's where all the heat is. In that 29th, it's the 29 is dissolving the experience and getting the wisdom from it. I don't know what degree it is in Taurus. Like I say, I'm only touching on the astrology. I don't want to get buried in it. So happy new moon. 8. And we are also in a Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, tropical and sidereal, different degrees, but Pluto is retrograding in Capricorn, May to October of this year. So that's the cardinal earth and the bricks we've used to build our house of beingness. So Pluto wants transformation, and it's going to challenge us to maybe dig a little deeper, maybe crack the surface, and yeah, I've got kind of Four of Coins energy coming into with the question of what are you holding on to? And when we really listen to that true inner voice, we'll know the answer to that question. And so it's going to call in to contrast that kind of Seven of Swords energy where we con ourselves or where we carry on pretending. I'll just give it another month and the body's crying out, stop. Body, physical Capricorn. So some thoughts on this Pluto retrograde. Material realities, ending, changing, transforming. Beware of trying to push against cardinal earth, but instead be aware of what your body is telling you. How would you describe your attachment to material reality? As if material reality were a person in your life, or a partner, or a family member, or a colleague. Have you noticed in the last few years a loosening to the importance of having stuff? Speaks to the illusion of what we tell ourselves we need. And can you feel the intellect trying to reason why you should buy that thing? Okay. Yeah. I just want to speak to the loosening of having stuff, loosening attachment to material reality. It's something I've been going through for 2-3 years now. And it's got to the point where when I go shopping, I don't want anything. And that nudges me into a new expression, how can I not want anything? I live in the age of Capricorn, dressed up as Pisces, all of that material wounding, all of that lock and lass, all of that lack and loss, and futures defined on material abundance. Yeah. Yeah. It's like they say, before you go food shopping, have a meal before you go food shopping, because it stops you buying lots of unwanted tosh. Okay, so relationship to material reality is going to come into harsh reality. And if we think of Pluto as a generational planet, then we're looking big picture. So large corporations, banking, governments, world events, and also track where Pluto is in your chart. And a little bit of May astrology. On the 19th of May in England, there is a Cazimi, which I get a bit of a frizzly feeling about, kind of frizzly exciting. And it's a Jupiter-Sun Cazimi. So that's when Jupiter and the Sun kiss at exactly 28 degrees of Taurus. That could look like a sudden change in direction. That could look like doing it your own way. That could look like swimming against the tide. That could look like shocking somebody. That could look like no longer waiting for permission. Okay. And then on the 23rd of May, we have Venus conjunct Jupiter at 29 of Taurus. Okay, so within a week of each other, we have Sun, Jupiter, exact conjunction, Venus, Jupiter, conjunction, all happening in Taurus. Fourth house, foundation, physical world, the made world. Yeah, happening in those last degrees as well. This is a real wrap up, lots of wrap up energy. I'm done with this. That might be on your radar. Okay. So I think it was literally on the transition of the end of April into May. In fact, I think it was the day that Pluto stationed retrograde that all of this YouTube Go Live came in, and it was fast, really fast. And it came in at the same time as Sedna. And Sedna kind of gave me a tower moment, a realization, a shift in belief. So I've been journeying with this energy ever since, and it's a great teacher. I've scribbled some notes, and I'm going to just read these notes, but tune in and see what you get, see what lands with you. So Sedna has just moved into Gemini in tropical astrology. I haven't looked at sidereal, but that's an interesting thing because that already is going to challenge thinking of leaning this way or leaning that way. Sedna facts. Sedna was first discovered November the 14th, 2003. And Sedna has a 10,500 year elliptical orbit. Scientists can't seem to land on why the orbit is elliptical. And Sedna is way beyond Pluto, so it's right at the edge of how far our telescopes can go. Or could go in 2003. We'll probably go further than that now. Okay, and here's a bit of the mythology and a lot of my intuition. Sedna is the Inuit goddess of the sea who lived in the cold depths of the Arctic, the North, the primal yin. Sedna is the first observed body belonging to the Oort cloud with a highly elliptical orbit that takes... Why have I written this? I've already done that. Sorry, this is I don't want this. This is all science here. It's my nerd. Bear with me. Sedna is way beyond the realm of even the outer gas giants, inhabiting the space where methane ice exists and dominates. So Sedna is a 16-7 numerological code. And within that coding is the 6, which seeks harmony at a soul level, is the 10 that wants to birth from source. The 10 is independence, infinite potential, the creatrix energy, self-determination. So here's the individuality coming online. And the overall expression is this 16-7. And I tend to go to the tower to describe this energy. And here it speaks to the wisdom of introspection, critical thinking, and independent thought. These ingredients alone can cause a tower moment. Introspection, critical thinking, and independent thought are a recipe to truth. And when we see the truth, we must pull down the tower of our own illusion and learn to swim against the tide. The 16-7 is about fusing light in harmonious ways, which may shock or disappoint others who rely on an illusion or the self-delusion to define themselves rather than go inwards on their own journey of self-discovery. So the delusion to define ourselves is what I spoke to earlier, and trauma bonding allows a certain kind of belongingness. So we belong to the same wound, and I can be the same in this, rather than to go in and find our own independent, self-actualized expression. Sedna has given me consequences, speaks to the willful manipulation, sacrifice, and abuse of primal feminine force. Mythologically betrayed by her father in different ways and in different stories, Sedna carries the wounds of patriarchal deception, which has caused her to fall into the coldest, most frigid part of the cosmic sea. But like ice, she melts, and like ice, she has memory. I'm interested now because I thought I'd written paragraphs, so which says I'm clearly still holding quite a lot of the story. So I'm going to let that percolate and see what comes out here. But Sedna, as the untethered feminine, the wild dark chaos, is coming online and has been speaking more loudly through these videos over the last few months. Let's go 6 months. And the untethered self speaks to untethered from the behavioral matrix, from the old 3D reality, a more wild self. But how does that sit within a stultified society that is attached to outcome and has expectations that we all behave in a certain way, which is pleasing? Sedna wants to know, where is your rage? Where is your frustration? What can you no longer tolerate? What are you tolerating? And are you lying to yourself? How are you fusing light in a harmonious way with nature? You know, if you think about big business and how it has built that big business by abusing the planet and nature, and that primal feminine, creative, organic self, and the business plans that contain no destruction, they're just growth and growth and growth and growth. That is an exhausted natural world. Yeah, and the memory is in the water. The memory is in the emotional self, in the deep water. And here we might be speaking to the memories that remain in the last vestiges of the age of Pisces, when we remember how magical we were, how multidimensional we are, and how that has been chipped away and shut down to stay alive. But even in that, if I shut my gifts down to stay alive, am I being true to myself? Joan of Arc. So now I'm curious about Pluto and Sedna as a power couple. Okay. I want to speak to trinkets. And so, as I do with this amazing book, I picked it up and opened it. And I read a passage which absolutely speaks to Cardinal Earth. And it speaks to pride. And it speaks to Capricorn. Okay. Patriarchal Capricorn. So this is from the chapter Marking Territory and the part about the spirit bear. And this is the transformative fire and right action. I'm just going to read a couple paragraphs. The bear shows great compassion toward the woman, allowing her to pluck one of his hairs. She hurries back down the mountain, practicing all the gestures, songs, and praises that spontaneously rose out of her as she climbed that mountain. She comes running back to the healer, so anxious. She might have said, "Look, I did it. I did what you told me. I endured. I triumphed." The old healer, who is also kind, takes a moment, lets the woman savor her accomplishment, takes the hair and throws that hard-won hair into the fire. The woman is stunned. What has this crazy healer done? Go home, says the healer. Practice what you have learned. In Zen, the moment the hair is thrown into the fire and the healer speaks her simple words, that is the moment of true enlightenment. Notice the enlightenment does not occur on the mountain. It occurs when, by burning the hair of the crescent moon bear, the projection of magical cure is dissolved. Right. A magical cure. A crystal. But it's within me. Okay. So when we project our magic outwards, it might end up as a material thing, which is why crystals are such a massive industry. Everybody wants one, and they're beautiful and stunning. But that's within me. All of my cards, they're all within me. So this is really challenging material attachment. We all face this issue, for we all hope that if we work hard and have a high holy quest, we will come up with a something, a substance, a material, something or other that will flash, make everything orderly forever. That's not the way it works. Enlightenment is about the releasing. It's about the letting go. And when I found this page in the book, I thought I'll just put a place marker in there. And today I'm going to work with this deck. So I got the deck out and just cut the deck in half, lifted a card out, and I love this card. Total submersion. Okay. Don't be afraid to totally immerse yourself in a project, interest, or goal. Give it 100% of your energy, and you may find what your life has been lacking. Now, this is the problem. This is the answer. Because this is goal-oriented. This is going to feed some kind of craving. And what this might miss is the love of play, moment to moment. The big project might actually only need to be in play for 7 minutes until that is integrated. So becoming whole is about the integration of everything. This actually feeds the craving. What you crave is out there. Go and get that, climb that mountain, do your Invictus games, call yourself a hero, and you'll have that thing that will make you whole. No, it's already within you. You've got to go in and dig. Okay, meet the shadow, meet the intellect, meet everything that prevents you from getting to that nugget that was there all along, that it's more beautiful than you can even conceive of. Okay, so that's kind of it. That's kind of all I want to say, but I'm going to pull some more cards and just see if anything else. Yeah, what if we speak to Pluto and Sedna as the power couple? Yeah, okay, let's go. Pluto and Sedna. Right, it started. Okay. So what I'm getting is the collapse of the physical world. Not in a dramatic way, but the collapse of the physical world as we've known it. And what these messages, what Sedna is guiding is release your attachment now and go within. So that what did I just say? Did I say destruction? I can't remember. So that when the material reality falls, the pull of our attachment to it will be less if we unhook. So that the message, start unhooking. Total submersion. Okay. Oh, I'm being shown a pathway to an igloo. And behind the igloo is what looks like a mountain with a big cave cut into it. And I get the words, alone on the tundra with nothing to guide, except that inner compass. This is self-reliance. See what you desire and move toward that goal. It's time to zero in on your purpose. Use your intuition and instinct. Do you remember when I said when the structure comes down, even the structure of organized thought comes down, what we will be left with is intuition and gut response. Higher self, lower self, working in harmony. Intuition, instincts to guide you for optimal outcome. Right. You can take that message or leave it, whatever serves you. But for me, the only message is they're all swimming in the same direction. And in that 11 energy, are they following their, wow. Are they all following a collective intuition? Or dare they not break away from the pack? This is speaking to telepathy. Mm. In the light of the full moon, coming in on that creative three, a full moon can shine light on what you've been resisting. Truth. This can be anything from fear to the soul's beauty. And as the ice starts to melt, so too will the emotions, because we need the emotional body to process our world, and a healthy emotional body can process and move on rather than process and get entangled. Single-mindedness. Choose your own path and what is best suited to you. Yeah, right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at these cards in terms of Pluto and Sedna as a power couple. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm just being reminded there is a trifecta of energy going on at the moment, we are in a massive solar storm. I believe we had an X-class 4.5 solar flare yesterday, and we've already had a radio blackout today. So there's lots of magnetic energy. There's a new moon tomorrow, and Pluto is retrograde. Okay. And I've gone deaf in this ear. Carry on. And now I'm being shown a library. And there's a librarian sitting at a desk. It's all kind of old oak, and there's a mezzanine above the librarian. And there's a man in a top hat with a tailcoat and a monocle. Who's walking around her desk and into the back of the library. And the message is, don't wait to be shown the way. Oh, wow. Don't wait to be shown the way. You know the way, it is within you. I've got dimensions and timelines coming in with this. Coming in on that one energy, that initiatic energy. But I'll tell you what this looks like. How can I put that? I don't know how to put what I'm seeing. Bear with me. There's a question that's something like, is the wish that you make for this, is the wish you make for yourself the same as the wish you would make for all of your families? Because what I'm seeing here is kind of dimension after dimension after dimension, just different realities, all in her field of awareness. And it's like she's blowing intentions into all timelines at once. It's like it's harmonizing. It's harmonizing. It's creating a harmonic to bring the resonant and the dissonant into a new vibration. And it's connection, and interconnection, it's interconnectivity. It's no longer about the small Capricornian, what I want is. It's the wish I'm making, a wish I would make for all of my families. So that Jupiter Sun Cazimi on the 19th is going to open that up. In the material world. So your vision might start opening up. You might see things move just out of field. You might see light. Heck, you might see another being. Take the doors off. Ideal course of action. Yeah. Oh, this is community. It's not about me. Let's imagine she's thinking, this is not about me. This is about something much bigger. And when you ask that question, what is the ideal course of action for all of the families? The focus shifts, becomes collective. That's humanity. That's the humanitarian. Not because of some false sense of being in service, but just blow the doors off. How big can we go with this? Hmm. Something's being built here. I'm seeing an octahedron. My third eye is boiling hot. And just have a gaze into that image, because I can see loads through that image. Maybe freeze frame and have a good old stare at it. There's lots of little images, the things that we don't see, but we do. Do you know, I remember years ago when I was opening up my senses, my sensory perception, and I worked with a really gifted friend, and I'd gone to the rocks and the woods for the weekend, just to walk and get lost. And I've taken loads of photographs, and I like to photograph with a digital camera into the back of a cave because you tend to see things you don't see. And I'm flicking through these, we're sat having a cup of tea, and I'm flicking through these photographs, seeing it in the 3D, in the here and now. And my mate went, will you just slow down? Don't look at, look through. And wow, the images came alive, just literally started moving. That was probably 20 years ago. And so when we look at, we see this dimension. And when we look through, God, it's all collapsing. This is amazing. Wow. It's like if I adjust my field of vision, I can see less and I can see more. It's like, can I just? It's like layers of tracing paper that have kind of clouded out other worlds. I'm just going to go wide here. And the tracing paper is being removed so I can see, you know, those pop-up cards with like a scene behind a scene behind a scene. That is what I'm looking at. I feel quite excited by this. I feel quite excited about this. This playtime on another level. Okay, let's go to fluid. Why do I keep looking over there? What am I looking for? I think it's these. Yes, heart chakra, but think energy field. Think energy bodies. Stargate heart unlocking. Generosity, abundance, Jupiter and Sun Kazemi. This is lovely because my hands are always cold. And it's really cooling down my third eye, which is on fire. Yeah. Yeah. When I wrote the sentence, but like the ice, she melts, and like the ice, she has memories. I saw the water experiment I did that was inspired by the amazing Veda Austin. And if you go onto my website, you can download a PDF called the Pentagram. And there are photos in there of the water experiment I did and the message that came through, which was remember who you are, which then became the tagline for Zeta Ophiuchi. And this is saying the same thing. Remember who you are, what you are. So crown, soul star, stellar gateway, and up and up and up through the dimensions. So fulfilling soul contracts speaks to that completion of karmic cycles, you know, which isn't an on-off switch, you know. It's a process of completion, bit by bit, and bit by layer, dimension by dimension, fulfilling a soul contract. Remembering who you are. Look at this alignment and look at these dimensions opening up. Just coming in with the sun. Feel a bit sick. So, galactic center. The sun is going mad at the moment. Abundance and downloads, Jupiter sun. Regeneration, which you're going to feel in the body. And Shambhala initiation. Trust the process. And this is guiding you to rest, like plenty of rest. Like, let me be the example. So on my things to do, I want to go live and I can push to that and rush to that so I don't let anybody down. Or I can just be very, very gentle because this massive energy at the moment. And just trust that that go live message was the initiation. That's all it was in the moment. It was the tower coming down, the initiation. And now I'm going to sit and cook just for a while and get plenty of rest for a while. Have any of you been simultaneously exhausted and wired all at the same time? I've noticed that. I was joking with a friend the other day. I said if I had to find a word, I'd say manic. I feel manic. Like my body's really tired, but I'm wired. It's mad energy and my body can't map to it. Okay, that's beautiful. Ah, karmic release. Let go. Just let go. You're cooked. You're done. Oh, my shoulder's burning. Where am I going? Okay, let's have a couple from here. Again, did we have that in the last video? I want to put those two together. Because this might not be speaking to linear direction. You know, if you look at the star tetrahedron. I'm just going to leave that one hanging as a question. Okay, let's bring this down. I don't know where to go. Yes. I'll go to my trusty abundance deck, my cheeky abundance deck, which is already exploding with cards. Okay. This is happening for me, not to me. Okay, with all growth, there's loss. With all creation, there is destruction. And love. Love is hidden in everything. Sometimes we got to look for it. Not human love, not the fragile, conditional human love, but love is the highest vibration. Got it. Ah, it's gorgeous. So love is the highest vibration, serves the collective. Not through that old Piscean energy of servitude. I'm here to save the world. I have a savior complex. None of that. What's the most amount of beings can benefit from love? So really coming into a collective, joining together, a meet and greet kind of energy here. Yeah, yeah. Good reminder, it's not about the giving. It is about the giving. It's about the receiving. And can you conceive of being held in that kind of love? The next card. Oh, I did this for you. Well, why is nothing in it for you? I did this for you. It's your dream. I burnt the hair of the bear so that you could let go. That's how love serves. And in that, there may be a little bit of grief as the ego comes down, or the vanity of the trophy. Love serves its highest calling, and sometimes that doesn't look like material abundance. So the reframe is don't look at, look through. Go through, and as you go through and look through, go back in, go for the deep dive, the total immersion in self. That this is for you, not being done to you. Wow, that's gorgeous. Yeah, that's beautiful. There's the love affair. There's the love affair. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, there's a real letting go here. You begin a love affair with spirit. Or you begin a love affair with the spirit in all, the spirit in everything. The metaphysical driving energy behind the physical veil. The dancing sprites. Beautiful. That's it, isn't it? if nothing else. If nothing else. So I'm going to leave you with my love. I'm going to thank you all for being here and welcome new subscribers. Great to see you here. Drop a comment, do the clicky things, and I will see you all again soon. Take care. Bye.